So obviously you took your company public, and that's, a dream for a lot of the people in this room. What exactly has that meant for you as a leader of the company, and how has that evolved your even day-to-day life?
So, I think every chapter comes with remarkable change, remarkable challenge, remarkable upside, and it's just a different journey. And the IPO is just another one of those journeys. It's been an incredible experience. I do not need to go to law school now. I've learned a lot about things that I did not know that much about beforehand. But, I would say that it's really been rewarding for me to watch the team and the culture evolve through these different chapters. We started this in a tiny apartment. The bathtub was being repurposed for merch storage, and now we're a public company. And so I just feel grateful that I have been able to stay a part of it through all of these chapters. And it's been an honor to work with such different groups of people and to see it evolve. But, of course, just like all of you out there, you go from one chapter to the other, there's all sorts of new challenges that you have to navigate. But if you're willing and up to the challenge, I think it becomes rewarding and exciting.
So how often are you checking that ticker?
Not as much as you would think. I was telling you this on our prep call. Generally speaking, I get updates from others who are like, oh, I bought your stock, it's down today. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry about that. The dry cleaner, whoever I run into in the world, I'm not obsessed with the stock. I'm obsessed with our customer. I'm obsessed with the team. I'm obsessed with the innovation that we're, planning for the future. It's business as usual, right? Obviously, there's lots of new guidelines and frameworks you have to follow, and you have to be prepared for earnings and so on and so forth. But we run a really good business. And so we're thinking decades, not days. And we're really, really focused on the long term. And I think that that's a good lesson for anybody in the audience, even if you're not going public, right? If you're raising money or you're, trying to get to that next milestone, not optimizing for these short-term daily wins, and really just thinking big picture and staying so married to that long-term vision, because stocks go up and down, right? Just like all of us have ups and downs in our days. So I'm not obsessed with the stock.
Yeah, in particular, you mentioned after a strong earnings call, the stock actually fell. What did that kind of teach you as a leader of a publicly traded company?
So I think I went into that earnings call thinking that the stock market is a super rational place. And I quickly realized that just don't try to rationalize in this place.
It's an art, not a science.
Yes, I guess so. So that was really when I detached and said, this is never going to make sense to me, and the business is great. It's performing well. We are, it's on me to set that tone with the team. And so, on days where it's bright green and things are going great, those are the moments to actually remind the team, don't pay attention to this. Like ups, downs, everything in between, let's just stay focused and chart the course.
You're very much the face of your company, whereas some founders sort of elect to be a little more guarded. Was that strategically done, and how have you navigated being a public figure?
Yeah, so this is kind of an interesting question in the sense that I'm actually very shy. Like, I'm very nervous right now. And I really don't necessarily want to be the face of anything, right? I don't really know exactly how that happened. I think it just happened because I was out there beating the drum and trying to say, hey, we're gonna do this thing and it's gonna work and let's make it work and we have to make it work and come on. And it just happened that way, right? And obviously it was a business born out of my personal story, my personal struggles. And so you have to be able to validate those struggles and do it with conviction and authenticity. And I can't really ask somebody else to do that, right? And so what's beautiful about Bumble now is it's so much bigger than me, so much bigger than me. And I think there was this little moment in time where it was somewhat reliant on me. And now I think Bumble is so many people's stories, right? So many people can identify with Bumble's mission or identify with their own success story in Bumble that it will outlive me, right? And that's the goal. I don't need to be the face of this forever in the sense of the brand and the spirit of Bumble can live in a different country far away from me, and so on and so forth. And we've seen that. We've started to grow exponentially in a lot of markets where I haven't done press and I haven't been out there. And so that's really exciting to see it kind of take on its own life.
And we had a really nice moment backstage where somebody actually told you that your app changed their life. And is that more pressure or inspiring when you kind of hear these stories?
No, I think it's those moments that I have to repeat to myself on a bad day, right? In a bad email or a rough day. We all have rough days. Everyone here has rough days. That's the stuff. Like, that's the magic. And for me, that's why I'm still doing this, right? Like, this is only as successful as those stories, as those moments that it creates for people. And the fact that, I meet dogs named Bumble because their parents have met on Bumble, and I meet babies. I get these notes and messages from, newborn nurses, like the OB nurses in the hospital,
wow.
saying, just delivered my 8th Bumble baby this month. It's like, that's the stuff that really gets at you,
We have under 30 babies, so I understand completely.